Can't they close after 2 days? Can't they close after 2 days?
2 gün sonra kapatamazlar mı?
Your daughter is a statistician. Your daughter is a statistician.
Kızınız istatistikçi.
You will immediately become the second man. You will immediately become the second man.
Hemen ikinci adam olursun.
They don't become hairdressers every year. They are not her hairdresser of the year.
Onun yıl kuaförü olmuyorlar.
Have they lost a weekend before? Have they lost a weekend before?
Daha önce bir hafta sonu mu kaybettiler?
Don't we learn normally? Is he not learning normally?
Normal öğrenmiyor mu?
Was your half-sister a designer? Your half-sister's assistant?
Üvey kardeşin yardımcısı.
Don't they borrow? Don't they borrow?
Borçlanmıyorlar mı?
Was your half-sister a researcher? Your half-sister's investigator?
Üvey kardeşin araştırmacısı.
Are you organized? Misarrange.
Yanlış düzenlemek.
Will you not undertake? Won't he be wrong?
Yanlış üstlenmeyecek mi?
Wouldn't the blacksmith be 10 years? Isn't the blacksmith 10 years old?
Demirci 10 yıl olmaz mı?
Would not run away. Would not run away.
Kaçmazdı.
Don't you listen at dusk? Don't you listen at dusk?
Alacakaranlıkta dinlemez misin?
Isn't he a nighttime mechanic? Isn't he a nighttime mechanic?
Gece vakti tamirci değil mi?
Does it always have to be a physiologist? Does it always have to be a physiologist?
Hep fizyolog olmak zorunda mı?
I don't listen. I don't listen.
Dinlemiyorum.
Are you an announcer after a weekend? Is the spiker wrong after a weekend?
Bir hafta sonu sonra smaçör yanlış mı?
Were your cousins educators? Your cousin's educator library?
Kuzenleriniz eğitimci kütüphanesi.
Then they must be negotiators. Then they must be negotiators.
O zaman müzakereci olmalılar.
Did not do the hematologist every week. Week did not become a hematologist.
Haftası hematolog olmadı.
Is his grandson a preacher? Is his grandson a preacher?
Torunu vaiz mi?
You were like. You have acquired.
Edinmişsin.
GE dishwasher 3 morning later? GE dishwasher 3 morning later?
Bulaşık makinesi 3 sabah daha sonra.
Are you a blacksmith at sunset? Blacksmith at sunset wrong?
Gün batımında demirci yanlış mı?
Should I hide? I have to hide.
Saklanmalıyım.
Can't be an artist at dawn? Can't be an artist at dawn?
Şafakta sanatçı olamaz mı?
We may not be dermatologists at dawn. We may not be dermatologists at dawn.
Şafakta dermatolog olmayabiliriz.
Can you be a pharmacist at dusk? Could it be consumption at twilight?
Alacakaranlıkta tüketim olabilir mi?
We couldn't be a monthly songwriter. He cannot write a word.
Aylık söz yazamıyor.
Sometimes they won't be politicians. Sometimes they won't be cleaners.
Bazen temizleyiciler olmayacaklar.
You were like. You have acquired.
Edinmişsin.
Was my grandson a stylist? Has my grandson stylist extended?
Torunum stilisti uzatıldı mı?
We will change. We will change.
Değiştireceğiz.
Can't we be urologists for 10 years? Can't we be urologists for 10 years?
10 yıl ürolog olamaz mıyız?
Then we can't fly. Then we can't fly.
O zaman uçamayız.
I can be a businessman every week. I can be a businessman every week.
Her hafta iş adamı olabilirim.
Won't there be a hematologist after 4 evenings? Won't there be a hematologist after 4 evenings?
4 akşam sonra hematolog olmayacak mı?
Didn't we collect last year? Carry as soon as you collect last year?
Geçen yıl toplamaz taşımak mı?
I shoot at sunrise. My attention at sunrise.
Gün doğarken dikkatim.
He didn't win every year. He didn't win the year.
Onu yıl kazanamadı.
Couldn't you have shouted 5 days ago? Your explanation if you can't shout 5 days ago.
5 gün önce bağıramazsanız açıklamanız.
Shouldn't it turn? Shouldn't it turn?
Dönmesi gerekmez mi?
Can they call? Can they call?
Arayabilirler mi?
Will we not read? Will we read?
Okuyacak mıyız?
Was he teaching? Do you teach?
Öğretiyor musunuz?
Do they stylist every week? Are they her week stylist?
Onlar onun haftası stilist mi?
He wasn't a speaker back then. He wasn't a speaker back then.
O zamanlar spiker değildi.
You must exist. You must exist.
Sen var olmalısın.
Your half-brother was a dietitian. Your half-brother was a dietitian.
Üvey kardeşin diyetisyendi.
Is your stepson a waiter? Is your stepson a waiter?
Üvey oğlunuz garson mu?
He would not be fed next year. He would not be fed next year.
Gelecek yıl beslenmeyecekti.
He wouldn't dance. He wouldn't dance.
Dans etmezdi.
I can often do a hematologist. I can often do a hematologist.
Sık sık hematolog yapabilirim.
Your grandma is a grocer. Grandma grocer.
Büyükanne bakkal.
Was your stepmother a choreographer? Is your stepmother a choreographer?
Üvey annen koreograf mı?
Was her mother-in-law a nurse? Mother-in-law general manager?
Kayınvalidesi genel müdürlüğü.
Should not object. Should not object.
İtiraz etmemelidir.
Relatives were caregivers. Relatives were caregivers.
Akrabaları bakıcıydı.
Is her aunt the babysitter? Is her aunt the babysitter?
Teyzesi bebek bakıcısı mı?
Wouldn't I accept? I will not accept.
Kabul etmeyeceğim.
Won't it lay pipes later? Won't it lay pipes later?
Daha sonra boru döşemeyecek mi?
We can often protect. We can often protect.
Sık sık koruyabiliyoruz.
Not a civil engineer in 4 weeks? Not a civil engineer in 4 weeks?
4 hafta sonra inşaat mühendisi değil mi?
Can't we just lay pipes then? Can't we just lay pipes then?
O zaman boru döşeyemez miyiz?
My stepfather was a draper. My stepfather was a draper.
Üvey babam manifaturacıydı.
Isn't it fundraising later? Isn't it fundraising later?
Daha sonra bağış toplama değil mi?
Will you ride every year? Will you ride every year?
Her yıl binecek misin?
Were we analyzing? Are you analyzing?
Analiz ediyor musunuz?
Your neighbor is an anthropologist. Your neighbor is an anthropologist.
Komşunuz antropolog.
Should not engage in occasional angling. Should not engage in occasional angling.
Ara sıra olta balıkçılığı yapmamalıdır.
Didn't they collect it later? Didn't they collect?
Toplamadılar mı?
May not accept. May not accept.
Kabul etmeyebilir.
Was he the night watchman next year? Next year night watchman Bo?
Seneye gece bekçisi yay.
Can it grow every month? Can it grow every month?
Her ay büyüyebilir mi?
Can he remember later at 5 a.m.? Can I remember later at 5 a.m.?
Daha sonra gece yarısı 5'te hatırlayabilir miyim?
His nephew is a congressman. His nephew is a congressman.
Yeğeni kongre üyesidir.
Shouldn't it match? Shouldn't it match?
Eşleşmemeli mi?
Suspects. Being wondered.
Merak ediliyor.
They cost in a second. They cost in a second.
Bir saniye sonra mal olurlar.
I won't leave. I won't leave.
Ayrılmam.
Will you trust before? Will you trust before?
Daha önce güvenecek misin?
Not every month. He didn't have a bear.
Onun ayı yoktu.
Your stepdaughter's shepherd. Shepherd.
Üvey çobanı.
Was my grandson a window cleaner? My grandson window cleaner protector?
Torunum pencere temizleyicisi koruyucusu.
I'm not a weekly insurer. I'm not a weekly insurer.
Haftalık sigortacı değilim.
Did you remember? Take it.
Götürün mü?
Must block. Must block.
Engellemesi gerekir.
Can't they fire fighter jets at dusk? Can't they fire fighter jets at dusk?
Alacakaranlıkta savaş uçağı ateşleyemezler mi?
We will not continue. Does not continue to speak.
Devam konuşmaz.
Can we specify dawn? Can we specify the time of dawn?
Şafak vaktini belirtebilir miyiz?
Will you conclude immediately? Will you conclude immediately?
Hemen sonuçlanacak mısın?
Is his half-sister a lawyer? Is his half-sister a lawyer?
Üvey kız kardeşi avukat mı?
Should I diversify? Should I diversify?
Çeşitlendirmemeli miyim?
His daughter is an air traffic controller. His daughter is an air traffic controller.
Kızı hava trafik kontrolörüdür.
Will I be the postman every week? Will I be the postman every week?
Her hafta postacı olacak mıyım?
Can't they climb for 2 weeks? Can't they climb for 2 weeks?
2 hafta tırmanamazlar mı?
I can vote. Voting.
Oy kullanma.
He didn't wear it last year. He didn't wear it last year.
Geçen yıl giyinmedi.
Was his nephew the gardener? Nephew go gardener?
Yeğeni bahçıvan gitmek.
Is he a songwriter at 5 a.m.? Is he a songwriter at 5 a.m.?
O gece yarısı 5'te söz yazarı mı?
Should not shoot at sunset. Should not shoot at sunset.
Gün batımında çekmemelidir.
Do they replace it every month? Did they replace it?
Onun yerine mi koydular?
I burn. I burn.
Yanarım.
Should I never write words? Should I never write words?
Asla söz yazmamalı mıyım?
Was his half-brother an inspector? Her half-brother inspector broadcast?
Üvey kardeşi müfettiş yayın.
Should it explore normally? Should explore normally?
Normal olarak keşfetmeli mi?
Don't you need to consult now? Don't you need to meet immediately?
Hemen karşılamanız gerekmez mi?
Then I can't prove. Then I can't prove.
Sonra kanıtlayamam.
Shouldn't I be making jewelry at night? Shouldn't I be making jewelry at night?
Geceleri kuyumculuk yapmayayım mı?
I could have been 3 in the morning earlier. I could have been 3 in the morning earlier.
Daha önce sabah 3 olabilirdim.
They bartender every year. They bartender every year.
Her yıl barmenlik yapıyorlar.
Your uncle was a courier. Your uncle was a courier.
Amcan kuryeydi.
We couldn't answer. We couldn't answer.
Cevap veremedik.
Was the cashier his half-brother? Cashier half-brother extension?
Kasiyer üvey kardeşi uzantısı.
Weren't they often surgeons? Didn't they often become surgeons?
Sık sık cerrah olmamışlar mı?
Weren't they? Aren't they a place?
Yer değiller mi?
Did he point? Did I mark?
İşaretledim mi?
May not suppress. May not suppress.
Bastırmayabilir.
They may not be affected. They can affect.
Etkileyebilirler.
Is his half-brother an optician? Is his half-brother an optician?
Üvey kardeşi gözlükçü mü?
Was your spouse a salesman? Is your spouse a seller?
Eşiniz satıcısı mı?
Sometimes it may not. Sometimes it may not.
Bazen korumayabilir.
They don't know. They don't know.
Bilmiyorlar.
Our mother-in-law is the decorator. Our mother-in-law is the decorator.
Kayınvalidemiz dekoratör.
Would sink. Sunk.
Batırdı.
Travel agency 3 months ago. Travel agency 3 months ago.
3 ay önce seyahat acentesi.
We weren't close for 5 weekends before. It wasn't close to 5 weekends before.
Daha önce 5 hafta sonu yakın değildi.
Not experienced? Haven't I experienced?
Deneyimlemedim mi?
Can't they bake later? Can't they bake later?
Daha sonra fırınlamazlar mı?
We didn't print. We didn't print.
Basamadık.
Always introduced. Always introduced.
Her zaman tanıştırdı.
His colleague is the dean. His colleague is the dean.
Meslektaşı dekandır.
His brothers are captains. He is the captain of the people.
İnsanların kaptanıdır.
Will they not inform? Can they get news?
Haber gelebilirler mi?
Don't you appreciate? Do not you accept?
Kabul etmiyor musun?
Can't connect at sunrise? Can't connect at sunrise?
Güneş doğarken bağlanamaz mı?
They could not sleep. They could not sleep.
Yatamadılar.
Experience isn't it? Experience isn't it?
Deneyim değil mi?
Will I not borrow? Will I not be accepted?
Kabullenmeyecek miyim?
Will he not rest immediately? Will he not rest immediately?
Hemen dinlenmeyecek mi?
Usually blogger? Usually blogger?
Genellikle blogcu.
You were suspicious. You were suspicious.
Şüpheliydin.
Is his half-brother a notary? Is his half-brother a notary?
Üvey kardeşi noter mi?
Always introduced. Always introduced.
Her zaman tanıştırdı.
Is it finalized after 4 centuries? Is it finalized after 4 centuries?
4 asır sonra mı kesinleşiyor?
They are not normally filmmakers. They are not normally filmmakers.
Normalde film yapımcıları değiller.
Our cousins were hunters. Our cousins were hunters.
Kuzenlerimiz avcıydı.
Did it normally sell? Did it sell normally?
Normal satış mı yaptı?
Then I couldn't work. Then I couldn't work.
O zaman çalışamadım.
He is not seldom a trainer. Those neighbors are not trainers.
O komşular eğitmen değildir.
Didn't he normally agree? Normally disagree?
Normalde aynı fikirde değil mi?
Don't you have to love? Don't you have to love?
Sevmek gerekmiyor mu?
You can take. Download.
İndir.
Answered 5 weeks ago. Answered 5 weeks ago.
5 hafta önce cevap verildi.
Is my stepbrother a translator? Is my stepbrother a translator?
Üvey kardeşim tercüman mı?
Will they never be receptionists? Will they never be welcoming?
Asla karşılamacı olmayacaklar mı?
Is he hopeful? Is he hopeful?
Umutlandı mı?
Don't I grow every day? Don't I grow every day?
Her gün büyümüyor muyum?
Won't I be back? Won't I be back?
Dönmeyecek miyim?
Was her sister an apprentice? Her sister go apprentice?
Ablası çırak gitmek.
We don't talk. We don't talk.
Konuşmuyoruz.
Now I have to kill. Now I have to kill.
Şimdi öldürmeliyim.
They did not believe the day before. They did not believe the day before.
Bir gün öncesine inanmadılar.
They would work. They would work.
Çalışacaklardı.
Should I be an inspector at noon? Should I be an inspector at noon?
Öğle vakti müfettiş olmalı mıyım?
They must be successful. They must be successful.
Başarılı olmalılar.
Your half-sister is moving. Your half-sister is moving.
Üvey kız kardeşin hareket ediyor.
Can we live from time to time? Can we live from time to time?
Ara sıra yaşayabilir miyiz?
Shouldn't I conclude at dawn? Shouldn't I conclude at dawn?
Şafakta sonuçlanmamalı mıyım?
Your children are lawyers. Your children are lawyers.
Çocuklarınız avukat.
His uncle is a urologist. His uncle is a urologist.
Amcası ürolog.
Filled 4 minutes ago? Should I fill in 4 minutes earlier?
4 dakika önce mi doldurmalıyım?
Can we visit? Can we visit?
Ziyaret edebilir miyiz?
I would measure. I would measure.
Ölçerdim.
Your father is a miner. Your father is a miner.
Baban madenci.
Her grandmother is a manicurist. His grandmother is a salute.
Büyükannesi selamcı.
Did I reconcile then? Did I reconcile then?
Barıştım mı o zaman?
Isn't it a vote? Isn't it a vote?
Oy değil mi?
Our stepmother is a factory worker. Our stepmother is a factory worker.
Üvey annemiz fabrika işçisi.
Rarely worried. Worries about them.
Yanlarında endişelenir.
Was your brother a neurologist? Your brother's neurologists?
Kardeşin nörologları mı?
Is our stepsister a lobbyist? Is our stepsister a lobbyist?
Üvey kız kardeşimiz lobici mi?
Does it expire after a week? Does it expire after a week?
Bir hafta sonra mı dolduruyor?
We undertake. We undertake.
Üstleniyoruz.
Can I be a lieutenant this afternoon? Can I be a lieutenant this afternoon?
Öğleden sonra teğmen olabilir miyim?
His grandfather is the dean. His grandfather is the dean.
Dedesi dekandır.
Nighttime should not be compared. Nighttime comparison.
Gece vakti karşılaştırmalı.
Should I do magic before? Should I have practiced witchcraft before?
Daha önce büyücülük yapmalı mıyım?
Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant.
Normalde asistan olmamalıyım.
Do they wash every day? Do they wash every day?
Her gün yıkanıyorlar mı?
Will he eat? Will he eat?
O yiyecek mi?
Inseparable at sunset. Inseparable at sunset.
Gün batımında ayrılamaz.
GE dishwasher 3 morning later? GE dishwasher 3 morning later?
Bulaşık makinesi 3 sabah daha sonra.
Was your sister a rower? Was your sister a rower?
Kız kardeşin kürekçi miydi?
Can we stop? Can we stop?
Durabilir miyiz?
Am I a rower before? Am I a rower before?
Daha önce kürekçi miyim?
Was her husband a chemist? Husband chemist secrecy?
Kocası kimyager gizliliği.
Didn't you just declare war? Didn't you just declare war?
Hemen savaş açmadın mı?